Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Rabbit. Rabbit.
Rabbit.
We're having rabbit.
Race.
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 Race riots.
Racial. 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 Racial.
Mitchell made this racial.
Say it.
Rack.
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 What can we do?
This rack looks like pretty full. Radar. Radar.
Radar.
Radar.
Radar. Thank you.
Radiation.
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 Radiation zones. Radical.
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 Whoa, radical. Radio. Radio.
Radio.
Radio.
Radio. Rag.
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 You got a do-rag or something?
Rage.
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 Rage. You feeling rage?
Raid.
Raid. Raid.
Raid.
Raid.
A message. Gonzo had just laid a raid on a restaurant that the...
Rail.
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 Where that railroad?
Railway.
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 Father used to tell me stories about abandoned railway tunnels.
Rain. Rain.
Rain.
Rain.
Rain.
In the rain.
Rainbow.
Rainbow.
Rainbow. Rainbow. Rainbow. Like a rainbow.
Wear a raincoat.
Rainy. Rainy.
Rainy.
Rainy.
Rainy. Save it for a rainy day.
Raise.
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 Joffrey, raise the gate.
Rally.
Rally. Rally. Rally. Rally.
British Trans-Arabian Rally.
Range.
Range. Range.
Range.
Range.
Mammals. Mountain range. Asteroid. Boom.
Rank.
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 No memories, no fear, no rank.
Rapid.
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 Grade. The most rapid onset I've ever seen.
Rare.
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 Rare. It's just rare.
Rarely.
Rarely. Rarely.
Rarely.
Rarely.
If I'm not mistaken, and I'm rarely mistaken.
Rat. Rat. Rat.
Rat.
Rat.
Rate.
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 What's your rate?
Rather.
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 And rather sneezy.
Ratio.
Ratio. Ratio. Ratio. Ratio.
Where the only perfect thing is the owl to rat ratio.
Rational.
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 There's no rational explanation.
Raw.
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 Magellan's product, the raw intel.
Ray.
Ray. Ray.
Ray.
Ray.
Reach. Reach.
Reach.
Reach. Reach.
Can you reach those?
React.
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 React. And I won't react.
Reaction.
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 Elicit a debilitating neuroendocrine reaction.
Read.
Read.
Red.
Read. Red.
Read. Red.
Read.
FedEx 88, do you read?
Reader.
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 Reader. Reader.
There's a certain irony in that, dear reader.
Readily.
Readily.
Readily. Readily.
Readily. Readily.
Reading.
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 Excuse me.
Difficulty reading, hearing wrong words.
Ready.
Ready. Ready.
Ready.
Ready.
Get ready.
Real.
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 How wild.
Real wild.
You'll realize that soon enough.
Realistic.
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 Food.
I'm realistic.
Reality.
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 Biology dictates reality.
Really.
Really?
Really?
Really.
Really.
Really close.
Realm.
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 To the realm eternal. Cursed blade shall reap.
Rear.
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 Rear exit's clear.
Reason.
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 No reason.
Reasonable.
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 Reasonable. Here. She's reasonable.
Rebel.
Rebel. Rebel. Rebel. Rebel.
Rebel. Rebel.
Rebel.
Sure.
Look, everybody wants to rebel. Recall.
Recall. Recall.
Recall. Recall.
Recall. Recall.
Recall. Recall.
Stay here. Make my recall.
Receipt.
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 Get a receipt.
Receive.
Receive. Receive. Receive. Receive.
I received medication.
Receiver.
Receiver.
Receiver. Receiver.
Receiver.
Detonation receiver.
Recent.
Recent. Recent. Recent. Recent.
To wonder, in recent days, is
Recently.
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 Uncle Leonard? Recently?
Reception. Reception.
Reception.
Reception.
Reception.
Wow, really good reception here.
Receptionist.
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 My receptionist.
Exactly.
Recession.
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 Love is what? Recession proof?
Reckon.
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 Don't reckon it's for hunting buck.
Recognition.
Recognition. Recognition.
Recognition. Recognition.
Welcome to the department's official facial recognition database.
Recognize.
Recognize.
Recognize. Recognize.
Recognize.
Bo, anyone you recognize?
Recommend.
Recommend. Recommend.
Recommend.
Recommend. I recommend speech 217.
Recommendation.
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 Recommendation. A kidney. If that's your recommendation.
Record. 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 Record.
Record.
Record. Record.
Record message.
Recorder.
Recorder. Recorder. Recorder. Recorder.
ED.
Event data recorder.
Recover. Recover.
Recover.
Recover.
Recover.
Yes. Recover. Fine.
Recovery.
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 Recreation.
Recreation. Recreation.
Recreation. Recreation.
It is but a recreation. True strategic.
Recruit.
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 Recruit. Recruit.
Catch them. So who's this? Another recruit?
Ready.
Not anymore.
Red.
Red.
Red. Red.
Red.
Red is wrong.
Reduce.
Reduce. Reduce.
Reduce. Reduce.
They'll reduce Jason's sentence.
Reduction.
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 Therapist. I specialize in accent reduction.
Traction rail correct.
Refer.
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 This is what we in the weather game refer to as a high-pressure system.
Reference.
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 Die Hard?
I don't understand the reference. Reference.
Can you refine his readings?
Reflect.
Reflect.
Reflect. Reflect.
Reflect.
Certain rooms reflect the personalities of the occupants.
Reflection.
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 They're a reflection.
Reform.
Reform. Reform.
Reform.
Reform. Reform.
Reform. A reform-minded man. Take a second. I'll just refresh.
Refrigerator.
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 The refrigerator.
Refusal.
Refusal.
Refusal. Refusal.
Refusal.
Razor story, call, refusal.
Refuse. 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 Refuse.
Of public officials.
I refuse to answer.
Regard.
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 I failed in that regard.
Regarding.
Regarding. Regarding.
Regarding.
Regarding.
Prison.
Regarding what?
Regardless.
Regardless. Regardless.
Regardless.
Regardless.
Regardless. I'm very grateful. I am not.
Region.
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 Region. Region.
Mention anything about the Badula Kolb region.
Register.
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 Do this. Register.
Great. Again.
Regret.
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 Regular.
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 To the light.
Pulse 88. Regular.
Regulate.
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 Regulate. Regulate.
Since they didn't regulate wire transfers.
Regulation.
Regulation. Regulation.
Regulation.
Regulation.
Just short.
That's regulation.
Reinforce. Reinforce.
Reinforce.
Reinforce.
Reinforce.
PVC to reinforce the center cross support.
Reject.
Reject. Reject.
Reject.
Reject.
Reject. Reject.
Like a freak.
A reject. A weirdo.
Relate.
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 Manuel? Relay instructions.
Related.
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 Physiology. Pregnancy-related autoimmunity.
Relation.
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 I know the names. Close friend. Relation.
Relationship.
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 This complicated relationship.
Relative.
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 Well, John, that's all relative.
Relativity.
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 Relativity and quantum mechanics.
Relax.
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 Relax. Just relax.
Release.
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 Release. Release. Detected. Release countermeasures.
Relevant.
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 Directives. Tracking relevant targets.
Reliable.
Reliable. Reliable. Reliable. Reliable.
72 hours to failure. Yes. That's a completely reliable figure.
Relief.
Relief.
Relief. Relief.
Relief.
What a relief.
Relieve.
Relieve.
Relieve. Relieve.
Relieve.
Religion.
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 What?
Your religion.
Religious.
Religious.
Religious. Religious. Religious.
Are you becoming religious?
Reluctant.
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 There we go.
Reluctant heart.
Rely.
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 Rely. Rely.
Children, rely on me.
Remain.
Remain.
Remain. Remain.
Remain.
Remark.
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 There! Another insensitive remark!
Remarkable.
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 Joshua's made remarkable progress.
Remedy.
Remedy. Remedy.
Remedy.
Remedy.
Remedy. Good typing.
Remember.
Remember. Remember. Remember. Remember.
Remind. 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 Remind.
Remote.
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 Park this puppy, will ya?
Activating remote assistance.
Removal.
Removal.
Removal. Removal.
Removal.
Of an illness. Now,
The tumor removal was successful.
Remove.
Remove. Remove.
Remove.
Remove.
Bender before.
Remove them.
Okay.
Render.
Render. Render. Render. Render.
He is going to render judgment.
Renew.
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 No. Let's renew our vows.
Rent.
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 I pay my rent.
Repair.
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 Repair. Repair.
What?
Repeat.
Repeat. Repeat. Repeat. Repeat.
Need a new lesson. Repeat after me.
Repeatedly.
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 Repeatedly. I admit this.
Repetition.
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 Endless repetition.
Replace.
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 Replace. Replace.
You can't replace her.
Reply.
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 Bolus. We await your reply.
Report.
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 Status report.
Reporter.
Reporter. Reporter.
Reporter.
Reporter.
Three blonde.
You mean the reporter?
Represent.
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 Our cabinet back home. You represent our best.
Representative.
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 Representing a representative.
Republican.
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 You're a Republican.
Reputation.
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 Only by reputation.
Request.
Request. Request. Request. Request.
Jim Bob.
Note. Awaiting request.
Require.
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 Which require no signature.
Requirement.
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 Me. It's a job requirement.
Rescue.
Rescue.
Rescue. Rescue. Rescue. Locate Rescue Pod 13.
Research.
Research.
Research. Research.
Research. Research.
My research is intensified by
Resemble.
resemble. Resemble. Resemble. Resemble.
Preposterous! I do not resemble C-3PO.
Was it? You resent her luck. You're jealous.
Reservation.
Reservation. Reservation.
Reservation. Reservation.
Hotel. Reservation was cancelled.
Reserve.
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 Your Honor, Mr. Waters reserved deployment orders.
Reservoir.
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 A ravine around a reservoir, but... Residence.
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 Hello, Martin residence.
Resident.
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 Robin Hatcher, our resident sawbones.
Resign.
Resign.
Resign. Resign. Resign.
Maybe I should resign.
Resist.
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 I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Resistance.
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 I understand your resistance.
Resistant.
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 She's delusional, violent, resistant to treatment.
Resolution.
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 Jupiter's largest moon taking high-resolution digital photographs.
Resolve.
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 Resolve this. Produce your papers.
Resort.
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 Resort. Commercials here. This is his resort.
Resource.
Resource. Resource.
Resource.
Resource.
You'll have every resource what you
Respect.
Respect. Respect.
Respect.
respect. People deserve respect.
Respective.
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 To have relationships within their respective faiths. It's easier.
Respectively. 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 Respectively.
Forward, thwack and whack respectively.
Respond.
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 Anyone respond?
Response.
Response.
Response. Response.
Response.
Unlearned, involuntary, unconditioned response.
Responsibility.
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 No responsibility.
Responsible.
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 Responsible. Responsible.
Missed him.
She's not responsible.
Rest.
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 Let me rest.
Restaurant.
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 Restaurant. Restaurant. Chinese restaurant.
Restless.
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 Restless. Restless.
You God. Your mind is restless.
Restore.
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 Restore. Restore.
We just wanted to restore the balance.
Restrain.
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 You can't restrain yourself.
Restraint.
Restraint.
Restraint. Restraint.
Restraint.
But I never follow through. It's called restraint.
Restrict.
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 Restrict. Restrict.
Market. I decided to restrict investors' withdrawals.
Result.
Result.
Result. Result. Result.
Oh, size 10 results.
Resume.
Resume. Resume.
Resume.
Resume.
Resume.
Resume your post, Chief.
Retail.
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 She's in retail now.
Retain.
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 Retain. Retain.
And seeks now to retain custody of her kidney.
Retire.
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 Retire. Retire. I know the feeling.
Retire it. Seriously.
Retreat.
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 Trait.
Retreat.
Retreat. Retreat. Return. Return.
Return.
Return.
Return.
You'll be gone, never to return.
Reveal.
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 Reveal yourself.
Reverse.
Reverse. Reverse. Reverse. Reverse.
Reverse polarity of the turbine.
Review.
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 Head of felony review.
Revise.
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 Revise my statement. Revolt.
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 Revolt. So they're calling it the juror revolt.
Revolution.
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 The new Aryan Revolution begins.
Revolutionary.
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 Revolutionary. Revolutionary.
Revolutionary vaccines.
Pete. Most doll lines revolve around infants.
Reward.
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 Reward. Safe. No risk. No reward.
Rhythm.
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 Rhythm. Sinus rhythm. She's back. Rib. 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 Rib.
For my efforts, a visible rib cage.
Ribbon.
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 Self. I got a ribbon.
Rice. Rice.
Rice.
Rice.
Rice.
I also wish there wasn't a mouse living in Rice Sheldon. Rich.
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 Rich. Rich. We're rich.
Rid.
Rid.
Read.
Rid.
Read.
Get rid of them.
Ride.
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 Slow ride. Ridge.
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 Ridge. Ridge.
Bushman. On the ridge.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Rifle. Rifle. Rifle.
Rifle.
Rifle. The Miami prices.
Put the rifle
down.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
Right. Oh, a chin?
Right. Right.
Rigid.
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 Rigid. He disappoint you. He's cold. Rigid. Ring.
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 This ring. My grandfather's ring.
Riot.
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 Now, prison riot!
Ripe.
Ripe. Ripe. Ripe. Ripe.
The time is, right.
Rise.
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 All rise!
Risk.
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 Risk. Risk.
I'll risk it.
Ritual.
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 That's a lie, witch.
The Prozac! The ritual.
Rival.
Rival. Rival. Rival. Rival.
South side. Also a longtime rival. River.
River. River.
River.
River.
We're in a river!
Road.
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 On the right. Roar.
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 Roar. Little roar. Puh.
Roast.
Roast. Roast. Roast. Roast.
Roast peacock.
Rob.
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 Rob. Rob.
Go rob your bank. Robot.
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 Good robot.
Rock.
Rock. Rock. Rock.
Rock.
Ooh, my rock polisher!
Rocket.
Rocket. Rocket.
Rocket.
Rocket.
What is that?
It's a rocket. Rod.
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 Once the rod loaded perfectly. Roll.
Roll. Roll. Roll. Roll.
Well, beta testing. Role playing. We go live.
Roll. Roll.
Roll.
Roll.
Roll.
1 at 9 precisely.
Roll call. Roller.
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 Roller. Roller.
Ready? Roller coaster, Six Flags!
Romantic.
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 Romantic. Romantic.
Real romantic.
Roof.
Roof. Roof.
Roof.
Roof. Your roof. Your rules.
Room.
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 Hang on. Conference room.
Root.
Root or root? Root.
Root. Root.
We all root for youth.
Rope.
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 Grab the rope.
Rose.
Rose.
Rose. Rose. Rose.
Scissors do exactly.
They rotate things.
So what do
Rotten.
Rotten.
Rotten. Rotten. Rotten.
Asteroids mostly?
You'll catch something rotten. Rough.
Rough. Rough.
Rough.
Rough.
Rough and review.
Round.
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 Don't know why?
Round one!
Back to hell on wheels. Rouse those useless, drunken cavalrymen.
Root.
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 Root. Root.
Family to
Wait. It's Route 41.
Routine.
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 Routine is like rust. Royal.
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 Your Royal Highness!
Rub.
Rub.
Rub. Rub.
Rub.
There's the rub.
Rubber.
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 Rubber. Rubber.
Actually, nothing but rubber glove.
Rubbish.
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 Mrs. Norris.
Rubbish.
If I might, Headmaster.
Rude.
Rude. Rude.
Rude.
Rude.
So rude.
Rug.
Rug.
Rug. Rug. Rug.
Floor safe under the rug.
Ruin.
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 You scheme. You ruin people's relationships. Rule.
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 Rule. Rule.
I'm unstoppable? To rule the world?
Ruler.
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 You, the ruler of France.
There's a rumor going around.
Rural.
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 He inherited a family compound in rural Virginia.
Rush.
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 Just drop. Do not rush me.
Rust.
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 Routing is like rust.